this is something else. Steveson.
Gable, wow. Gable has he's always had a mind of his own.
My name's Gable Steveson. You will never influence the world by trying to be just like it.
You talked about the athleticism of Gable Steveson. He's showing it.
This is another grown man that can just push another grown man around the mat to a point where that guy just crumbles.
Oh, wow. Switches to the other side and goes low.
Wow, a lot of people are actually paying attention to wrestling, and especially to me when I step out onto the mat.
Well, you look at Gable Steveson, he is showtime.
Gable's an exceptional wrestler, but he also likes to entertain.
He loves the crowd loves him.
And whether you love him or hate him, you're watching him.
There's no respect when he wrestles with his opponents. Either you're going to roll over for me or I'm going to make you roll over for me.
It looked like he was heading in a little bit of the wrong direction as far as unsportsmanlike stuff like this. And I said, whoa, he's new into this college wrestling. I think there's a line you don't cross. And he might have crossed a couple times.
The match that he wrestled down in Iowa City last year, I said, score points and no garbage.
There's going to be a penalty point against Steveson for basically punching Cassiope.
Goes out and whacks him upside the head, gets a point. Really?
I felt like I had to bring a villain act to me to make things entertaining for other people to watch.
Fort Dodge, Iowa, Thanksgiving, '99. We went out to watch the Hawkeyes. We kept on hearing that name, Dan Gable, Dan Gable, Dan Gable. My wife, she was like, I like that name, Gable. How about Gable Dan? And she was like, I said, that sounds pretty good.
When I was younger, I went to Dan Gable's museum. Dan Gable had a long line of people want to see him. Someone asked what my name was, and I told them Gable.
I go, wow, I appreciate that. You know, I'm humbled. He had a middle name. And it was Dan. And all of a sudden, whoa, this is a first.
When we were young, our older brother wrestled, so he kind of started the path for us. My brother John was 8 years older than me and 13 years older than Gable.
I always say our middle one, Bobby, he was the hard worker. Gable, he was always the one goofing off in practice. We were thinking, is this kid ever gonna, get with it? John told him to do a backflip when he was probably about 2 or 3. And I knew he hit the wall because my wife heard a big thud upstairs.
In 7th grade, I was in social studies class, and the teacher said, Bobby, you're going home for the day. And I was like, what? I remember pulling up and walking upstairs and seeing my mom at the table crying. And I was like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? She was like, it's John. And I was like, what happened? Like, did he get in trouble? Or, did something weird happen? And she was like, no, he's dead.
My life changed drastically, seeing the real side of how life actually is, and how me being young and thinking that death isn't real, I see him one day, then the next day, like, it's never gonna happen again.
Wrestling's been that healing process with him, so they never forget him.
That was probably the starting point. I used to never take wrestling really seriously until I won the state tournament in high school my freshman year. I was a 4-time state champion in high school. After my 4th state championship, I rounded it off and ended with a backflip.
This one is in 17. Whoa!
After that backflip video, a lot of things changed. My name went from just a regular wrestler to being just an athlete that people know.
I mean, if I was coaching Iowa and there's a kid named Gable Dan, I would probably think he should be wrestling for me.
The whole wrestling community knew that Gable and I were pretty close, and wherever I would go, Gable would soon to follow.
Control, middle, 2 takedowns! 2 more points for Gable Steveson there.
And I talked being a 4-time national champion, and things go wrong, obviously. I lost my freshman year twice to Anthony Gassar.
Good work. Good job by Gassar. Yeah.
And he goes ahead with short time.
Big Ten championship, that final match, it was just like, what are you doing?
We're only going to blame one person. That was Gable. That was his fault. You thought you were just going to walk out there and be Gable and think good things were going to happen to you. Well, you didn't make it happen.
For somebody that's had as much success as he has, he still, under the brightest lights, had to, suffer defeat, and that can be challenging. It showed me really his maturity and how important it is to bounce back.
And the Gophers get a Big Ten champion.
I think he realized nutrition, sleep, training, strength, like all those things do play an aspect of being successful at that level.
At times he takes his foot off the gas. I think those days are behind him.
That Gable that wrestled freshman year would not stand a chance against the person that is who I am right now.
The power from Gable Steveson.
It's all about business now. Putting your dominance on the next person and keep going. Don't be satisfied.
The villain act is long past. I think just being able to talk the talk and walk the walk right now is the main thing. I don't need the extra showboating no more.
Some of his goals after college wrestling, right? You can see that he is an entertainer.
First met Brock at a WWE match. It was crazy to see Lesnar in person. He came into practice one day and I was like, why is Lesnar here? Nagum told me, oh, he's gonna practice with you. And it was crazy because I was like, Lesnar practice with me? What?
I think right now his dream is that he wants to be in the WWE.
I love acting. I just love being able to be myself in front of tens of thousands of people. Where Gable will end up in some years to come, holding the strap, winning the WWE Championship with a good crowd of people around me that I can share my story with.